As the saying goes, everything is bigger in Texas, and Governor Terry Branstad hopes that saying applies to Texans' pocketbooks. Branstad campaign officials said the Iowa governor is in Houston today to raise cash for his 2014 re-election campaign. However, Branstad has not formally announced he plans to seek a sixth term as Iowa's governor. Texas Governor Rick Perry will be a special guest at the luncheon fundraiser, and Branstad traveled without Lieutenant Governor Kim Reynolds, who's vacationing in Mexico with her husband. Branstad is scheduled to be back in Iowa today later for his weekly news conference at the Iowa Capitol.
Now boarding the largest airline, the Justice Department, American Airlines, and U.S. Airways have just reached an agreement on a month-long argument over the two airlines merging to create the world's largest airline. The deal includes both current airline companies selling takeoff and landing slots at the nation's largest airports, including Ronald Reagan National Airport and LaGuardia. The deal also includes various other assets to be sold at O'Hare, Los Angeles, and Boston Logan. But it isn't smooth skies yet. The settlement has to be approved by the Federal District Court in D.C. and the judge overseeing American Airlines bankruptcy proceedings. The merged airline said it will operate fewer daily departures nationwide under the deal. The Justice Department says this agreement will increase the presence of low-cost carriers at major airports throughout the country and maintain a stable, competitive market.
It is a common saying, you would lose your head if it wasn't screwed on. Sadly, a metal sculpture named Solo on Iowa State University's campus really does have a screw that keeps his head in place, and the head is missing. ISU police are looking for tips on what might have happened to Solo's head. Dark and faraway video shows it was stolen Sunday, September 8th at 4:15 a.m., but it wasn't until earlier this week when officials on campus discovered the missing part. The sculpture was made by international award-winning artist Bill King, and its head is estimated to be worth $40,000 to $50,000. The theft is classified as a first-degree charge, and if anyone has any information regarding Solo's head, should call ISU police at 515-294-4428.
Ladies, 388 days until 2014 midterm election day, but the race has already begun here in Iowa. Fundraising efforts across the state are well underway, and Sarah Palin has announced she'll be joining the fray. The former Alaska governor and 2008 GOP vice presidential candidate will join Utah Senator Mike Lee and conservative activist Phyllis Schlafly at an Iowa Faith and Freedom Coalition banquet on November 9th. The organizers of the event say their focus is geared toward electing more family-friendly public officials at all levels in the 2014 elections.
Last night, during their weekly meeting at the Memorial Union, the Iowa State University Government of Student Body voted to make some serious changes to their compensation policy. Iowa State GSB President, Vice President, and Finance Director will no longer be provided a stipend to pay for their room and board. This vote did not make any changes to the three positions tuition scholarships. Eliminating the stipend was something GSB President Spencer Hughes talked about during his campaign and led the Senate to take up the issue last night. Hughes believes the student money that pays for the stipend should go to all students, not just 3 students. But Hughes did use the stipend this summer.
The senators who voted to eliminate the room and board stipend were elected in March of this year with a historically low voter turnout of about 8%. So I went out to find out about how GSB Senate affects students on campus. Iowa State University Government Student Body meets in this room, the Campanile Room, on Wednesday nights at 7. Their meetings are known to go long into the night, almost to midnight. But what do they do for ISU students?
GSB Senate is most importantly advocating for students, representing students, because out of the 41 people that are on the GSB Senate, each person represents at least 1,500 people this year. And then also we're the funding branch per se of GSB. We allocate the student fee dollars that get charged to every student per semester, and then clubs and organizations, groups on campus can come request funds for various items, capital items, conference registration fees, conference travel, those types of things.
The student fee Bauer described is a fee of $35.35 every semester for every ISU student. This means the GSB Senate has a $2 million account every academic year. Because of such a large pot of student money and wanting to ensure they allocate funds correctly, the GSB Senate has organized itself into 4 standing committees.
The Senate has 4 standing committees, Rules Committee, which looks at the bills themselves to make sure they're in compliance with our bylaws and Constitution. And then Finance Committee, which reviews all financial legislation. They're kind of the delegator of the money. They kind of give their recommendations to Senate, and then we go from there.
These 4 committees help to not just fund student clubs and organizations, but also services GSB considers crucial to the student experience on campus.
Take advantage of those to kind of help diminish the cost of the college experience itself. Other services, like I mentioned, Committee on Lectures, an educational type aspect that encompasses many different varieties of topics that appeal to any student. Another one, Student Union Board, that puts on concerts, events around campus. And then obviously the big one's VISHA that we fund partly, because who doesn't love VISHA?
For iState News, this is Carter Collins with Oni Amoyla and Hunter Brugam-Hemke. You can find more information about all 3 branches of GSB on their website, gsb.iastate.edu.
The Administrator for Medicare and Medicaid Services apologized today for the healthcare.gov website not working. Marilyn Tavener said before the House Ways and Means Committee that she was sorry for the millions who tried to access the government website and couldn't use it due to technical problems. The Obama website allows Americans to comparison shop and purchase private insurance. Initially, the government blamed the website not working on heavy traffic. Now the administration says the problem is more serious and plans to bring experts together to find the real malfunctions of the site. The former corporate executive leading the technology diagnosis, Jeff Zients, said the site won't be at its full working capacity until mid-November.